Introducing Dr. Bradley Dexter. He's a professor of business. He is very involved with this institution, and this is his life in Inspired. In our platform, Bradley has access to this Inspired solution collaborated, also to the pieces that come from Blended Learning Management Solution and Connected Student Information System. Bradley doesn't need to know how to navigate to 3 different systems and where to go and what logins to have. All that information is aggregated here into one homepage. We're going to take a look at Bradley's profile. One of the things that's important as a member of AHIA is to have access to a virtual Rolodex of member institutions and individual members. That's why each user has a profile here in Inspired. Bradley is able to see his information, edit it, and keep it up to date. For example, if communication preferences change, if he is mastering a third language and wants to add that to his communication preferences, or if he has received an additional certificate in entrepreneurial development, he can add that type of information to his profile. Then that information is available when other users on the platform are looking for people to network with. What's of most interest and what we have been focusing on in our pilot program is the ability to develop a course with another faculty member somewhere else around the world. To do that, we start this process with defining an interest in the platform. To create an interest, Bradley goes down to the Collaboration Interest tile, he clicks Add, and a form pops up that is dynamic in nature. The form changes depending on the type of project he is choosing. We tried to identify a number of projects that faculty members and academic leaders would be interested in working on with others. You can see this list as it stands right now. I am going to select course development because that's what's in our release right now. The other areas you see, curriculum development, certificate development, best practices, things of that nature, our project chairs and faculty fellows are helping us to define what those interest forms look like. So I select course development. Through the magic of my demo environment, I defaulted in information to speed up this process and conversation. Bradley can identify what type of course he's interested in developing, his language preference for communicating, what type of delivery method this course will be, online, on-ground, or blended, and what type of collaboration. This is really key because you may be seeking to collaborate with someone else in your department at your institution. You may be looking to collaborate on multiple disciplines with others from your institution. You may be interested in a regional collaboration with one particular or 2 or 3 areas of the world. Or you may select global in nature, so anyone in the world you would be partnering with. Here, I'm going to leave it on global, and you will see I've defined one discipline, but I have the opportunity to define up to 3 disciplines to work on this course together. I can identify the length of the course, the credits, and what level of teaching this is for, and the start and end dates of my project. This is important because we foresee things like certificate development and course development being potentially shorter projects by nature. But you may undertake a longitudinal research study that could take 10 years. So we want you to be able to utilize this solution the entire time. I'm going to save this information, and you will notice this new project appeared on Bradley's tile. If I click View More, I'm able to see a summary of the project as well as look for matches. We've learned from COIL participants that finding matches is one of the greatest challenges. Each individual has a different desire or need. Maybe they want to find someone purely from their discipline or at their academic level or at the level the course will be taught. Or maybe it's more of an institutional pairing that you're looking for. There are lots of different factors that can go into this algorithm, and they differ depending on the style and the type of project that's being undertaken. Our faculty fellows and project chairs are going to help us define those priorities and how best to match participants. Think of this as your virtual network. Right now, with the pandemic, we can't travel, and that's okay because you have the ability to find others who are like-minded or interested in similar projects as you that you can work with. In this process, we match with a variety of people who are interested in working together on similar types of projects. Bradley can go ahead and look at each person in his digital Rolodex. He can look up Karthik, or he can look up the University of Dubai to find out more information. He can check out Inez's profile and see what her qualifications are and if they might be a good pair to work on this course together. As he looks through her profile, he sees that she too is interested in entrepreneurship. She's got expertise in organizational management and quantitative methods. She has 7 years of experience working with international students and international education. Because of this background, Bradley wants to invite Inez to work together, and he has 2 options. In the upper left corner, where you see personal information, he has the ability to click on the chat icon, or he can simply issue her an invitation right away. When he clicks Invite, it automatically pulls in the information from Bradley's interests and populates it into this invitation. You'll notice that there is an editor here, so a standard message defaults in to make it easy to send an invitation. But Bradley can go and expand on this message. He can completely delete it and create a new message. There are a lot of editorial features here that he can utilize when attempting to communicate with Inez. All of the information from the project defaults in. Bradley is satisfied with this. He's going to send that invitation. He receives confirmation that the invitation has been sent. Now, for the purposes of this demo, we go into Inez's profile, and you can see in her messages that Inez has actually been approached by 3 different faculty members to potentially partner and collaborate together. Inez is able to see a synopsis very easily of who has communicated with her and what type of project it is. She can immediately decline or accept the invitation, or she can click on View More. For the purpose of this demo, I'll decline this invitation. We are going to look at Bradley's invitation. She clicks on View More, and you can see that information again, so it reminds her of the type of collaboration he's interested in working on, and she decides to accept his invitation. I want to show you what it will look like with the potential partner on the other side. We are back on Bradley's screen, how he sees things. He is going to click on Home to go back to his home screen. When Inez accepted that invitation, there's a point where Bradley can go in and officially start the project. In doing so, it lands on his My Projects tile, which is here in the middle of the page. This is a summary of all different types of projects that Bradley is currently working on with others. You can see there's various information in them. There are the start and end dates, there is the type of project, who the organizer is, the ability to have quick access to the files, and who the partners are in this project. In the far column, you'll see Status. Status is just a quick view of how far along Bradley is in this project. In this top example, he is 98% of the way through an artificial intelligence project. He is 45% of the way through his orientation project. He is just beginning this Ethics in Multinational Management course development project. We're going to go into that. And now we are in what is called the Project Lab space. This is a synopsis of the course, And you'll see that we have built in different pieces of functionality to help people collaborate and do so in one workspace. We learned that members of COIL who are collaborating together are utilizing up to 45 different tools because each institution has their own set of chat features and file storage and any other number of tools. We wanted to eliminate those hurdles and barriers and create a space where people could work together and see each other's work in progress. As part of a project, we have the overview, and that status is currently 0. There are tasks that are automatically built into each stage of development of your course. We call each stage milestones, and each milestone has tasks associated with it. You'll see that you can edit, add, and remove tasks as well. You can really customize this course development process between you and your collaboration partner or partners. Speaking of partners, there is a tile that lets you know how many partners are part of this project. It also provides you a quick snapshot of information of their time zone and where they're located. Below, there is a discussion board. Instead of having to email each other from your university systems or from Gmail or another email provider, you are able to communicate and have a running thread of discussion here within the project area. You'll also notice on the right side that we have a project calendar associated with this course development, and it highlights due dates that the partners have agreed upon. Again, this view is just a summary, but if we go in, we can see the individual milestones. Click on the project, and I'm brought into the first milestone, which is high-level course information. Before we start on that, I want to edit the project because potentially I want to change the name or the description or possibly add disciplines or change the start dates. I can do that here if I want to. When we go back to the milestones, you'll see with course information, we're asking you as partners to first outline the basic information of your course. So that will be title and course number, if you want to assign it a number, any prerequisites, and that description. In the upper right corner of each tile is an edit icon. When you click on that icon, it brings you into a modal where you can update that information. We'll provide the information for each of these tiles within the first milestone. Below that, in the task overview area, you'll see there are 4 tasks for that milestone that directly relate to the 4 tiles above. Think of this as a little project management functionality that we built into the platform for you. You can assign the task. You can decide what status it has. Is it in progress? Is it completed? Deciding who's going to work on it. You can assign one of the project partners to work on it, when it's due, and you can track the assets with it as well. I'm going to mark all of these tasks as completed, and in doing so, you're going to see something happen above. When I scroll back up, you'll see that I have an icon here that changed from gray to green because this milestone is now complete. I simply click on Complete Milestone, and I am automatically brought into the second milestone, which is course design. This is where you and your partners together will identify course topics, the objectives, and the learning environments, both formal and informal, that you will utilize. As you can see, a formal learning environment will be synchronous video lecture. An informal learning environment will be group discussions or group assignments. You can track all of those things here. As we saw with the first milestone, there are tasks associated with each milestone. I will complete all of these milestones. You will see the running conversation changes. There's a translator we are building into this, so Bradley can communicate in English, but Inez can have it translated to Portuguese and vice versa, if that makes it easier for them to communicate. File management is an area that is very important to projects as well. When you are developing a course, you may want to create a list of different texts or videos or movies or articles that you are considering using with your students. You can organize those resources here in your project lab space. Likewise, you can start to share documents back and forth. They may be Word documents or perhaps a PowerPoint you are using to supplement the learning. Maybe you have started to track your formative or summative assessments. All of this can be managed within this workspace. I'm going to scroll back up and click on the Complete Milestone button again, and we go into the third milestone for course development, which is the activity table. This is where most partners will spend a majority of their time, because this is where you start to break down the learning activities by week, by topic, and how you're going to support those activities. If you'll recall from the course information and course design milestones, we identified course objectives, so we're able to access that information and bring it in and identify if one of those objectives or learning environments can support the week of activities. You saw me add without having to type in. You saw me able to utilize a menu and pull this information into the activity table for the week. I'm going to save this, and I did have information already defaulted in and prepared for this demonstration, so I will quickly add that. Again, mark off my milestones. I'm just going to add a couple of different things in here and fast forward through and complete these objectives. As I go back up, you'll notice that in doing so, I have completed the milestone and I can click that. Now, the final milestone, the fourth step in this course development process, is a summary of all the information you and your collaboration partner have created and developed for your course. Notice here the ability to export this information. It's all on screen for you so you can review it. You can export it as a syllabus format. You can export it to a course control document format, or you can push it into Blended, our learning management solution. If you find in reviewing that perhaps something isn't quite right, or you want to add another topic, or you want to change an objective, you can still go in and edit your project at this point in time. What happens is you would submit it for review. I'm going to click Submit for Review, and what we're doing on the back end is building in a workflow that will route this to the appropriate people at your institution and your partner's institution for the approval process. In some cases, that involves just one or two people. In other cases, it may involve sending it to several different people who are part of a committee. I'm going to finish that and fast forward in our story again. You'll see that Bradley's course has been approved and he's in the process of teaching it now. It shows up on his My Courses tile. Now that's inspired.